So as you can see, I've set up my easel and sketched in the subject matter, and I'm actually painting in the Waimakariri riverbed, looking towards Mount Guineveer in the Arthur's Pass region, South Island, New Zealand, centre of the country, centre of the island, and we're looking towards the west coast. And I've sketched in the scene. It's, I think, about 2:30 in the afternoon, and I'm just putting in some background mid-tones. I've already established in the foreground my darkest dark areas under the little bank in the riverbed, and as you can see, the river's dry at the moment, but I'm going to place some water in there how I think it could look with reflections and what have you. I'm establishing the background mountain colours, and it's always a challenge, I find, painting outside, to try and place enough air between myself and the subject matter. I've got to be conscious to try and paint the air instead of actually the mountain. Look at the blueness. As you can see beyond the edge of my canvas board there on the right hand side, there is a haze across that mountain, and often I'll find when I paint outside I don't put enough haze and push those mountains back far enough, the background ones. So I am conscious of that, and I am trying to adjust. I'm always adjusting my tones and my colour, and I'm using greens and purples in there. I'm using a painter's medium called archival lean medium, which I love. It's a fast drying painter's medium, and I'm using a big brush. It's about probably a number 12 Daz brush. It's nearly an inch across at the front, and it's a flat brush. I like the marks that a flat brush leaves. And here I'm establishing some more mountain colour. I'm starting to move towards me a little closer into the next mountain range that's closer to me now, and trying to darken the tones and the colours up a little bit more colour, a little bit less blue, and because it is closer to me. And then I'm trying to establish also some lighter colours where the sun is hitting the ridges on the mountain. Sometimes it takes me a couple of goes to get it right, and you will see me adjusting colours through this painting as I go. This painting is really just a quick sketch, and in fact the only reason I'm filming it is to see how much of a film I can do on my camera with one battery. And also I've probably done 10 minutes of filming on the way up the road to where we're painting now, so I think I can get quite a lot of the painting done in one battery on my camera. Unfortunately, the camera has autofocus on it, and you can see when I put my arm in front of it that it's always trying to figure out what to focus on. I've actually moved forward in the image and the painting now, just realising that I will run low on batteries and I want to get a reasonable demonstration on film. So I've put in a closer mountain again, and to me it looks like I've judged that colour a little bit and made it a little closer than it should be while I'm looking at the film footage. And this is one of the challenges I've always found as a young artist, was judging the distance between the background, the midground and the foreground, and trying to get that spatial relationship right, and the sense of depth right in the canvas. And I know that I do change that green before the painting's finished, and even this green I'm applying now, I lighten it and make it more of a yellow-orange green. So, you know, it's part of the process of painting, is filling in the canvas and getting rid of the white canvas, and then readjusting things as you need to, and still using that big number 12 Daz brush, and trying to be conscious of where the shadow and the light is hitting these mountains. you can see the sandflies flying around in front of the camera, and I have got DIMP on, but I get bitten a bit while I'm painting this by the sandflies. And in fact, I had some English tourists come up and talk to me while I was painting, and they didn't have insect repellent on, so I was quite thankful that the sandflies started eating them. I asked them to stay around for a little while to give the sandflies a good meal, so I didn't get eaten too much later on. But no, it's fun. Just establishing a bit of shadow colour under those mid-ground mountains. And now I'm going to move in and I'm going to start establishing the beach. And as you can see, I've just moved forward in the video again. I've roughed in the beach, and you can see where I'm planning on putting some water. And now I'm just applying the whites of the snow highlights in the mountain. I've put the sky in, and I've kind of chiseled out the shape of those background mountains with the sky colour. And now I'm just trying to apply this cleanly, and I do struggle a bit. I've actually put these background mountains on a little thick in places, and I'm just trying to put this white highlight colour on top. And actually the painting does come out really nice. The paint's applied to the canvas beautifully, even though it looks like I'm just kind of blobbing it on. It does come out really well in the end result. So for an outdoor sketch, I was very happy with the result, and I've certainly brought a painting home that I can set up in my studio and do a studio painting of. Just trying to soften the edge on that little bit of paint that you can see where I swished that white snow colour down. It's just got a softer edge on the bottom, and I'm just trying to make the snow look like it should look on top of a mountain. But try and make the brush strokes just plainly and simply put on as well. Put them on and try and leave them if I can, with a little wiggle of the brush here and there to make things a little interesting. It was a beautiful day. I drove over from Christchurch, and when I left Christchurch, the mountains, the Southern Alps, were covered in cloud, and I thought, oh, I'm probably wasting my time driving in there, and I was going to turn around and head off towards the coast and paint something. I've got a little farm scene in mind to paint up there, but I persevered and drove in, and I'm really glad I did, because once I drove up past Springfield, the cloud was lifting, and it was about an hour out of Christchurch, and by the time I got in here, it was actually beautiful. It wasn't windy, and there was enough cloud around the mountains to make them interesting. So I'm just applying some shadow colour in the snow here and there. There wasn't a lot of it on that mountain, and I'm just trying to put a little bit of it in, and you can see that it's as if it's been cast by the bluffs and the maybe the cloud also. There's just a touch of shadow colour here and there. And then I move on to the foreground, just working on that foreground area, keeping it very simple. And you could really go to town and paint, you know, rocks and ripples and all sorts of stuff in the water, but you know, imagining how the water was, it's quite different than painting it from reality. The water's quite often see-through, and here you go. I've moved forward now again in the video. As you can see on that foreground mountain, I have taken that colour slightly back towards the midground a wee bit, and I'm just signing my name on that painting now. I've put in the water, and I've just made it reflective, just reflecting the background mountain colours. I've blobbed a few rocks and some ripples in there, and just putting the final signature on there now. So it's been a good effort out painting. I've really enjoyed it. It probably took me an hour to an hour and a half to do this quick sketch, and I just want to thank you for tuning in and watching. And you can see the rest of my work at simonkramerfineart.com, where I have paintings for sale and links to some of my video courses and other bits and pieces. So I'll just have a quick look at the close-up now. You can see the brushwork is very loose, and simply stated, trying to keep my colours clean and the edges soft and hard as needed. So thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you in another video sometime.